Right, I have a close, tight knit circle of friends. We are all different city and we are all in different areas, from local news to city governments to law, financial service. And despite those different areas, we seem to share similar story of workplace drama. Now I define workplace drama as an annoyance that adds additional stress to the job. So again, it's when people get on your nerves, not the job itself. So as we are going through these stories, I'm realizing that has to be a better way for us to coexist with our co-workers without this much drama. So I created a few steps that have been working for me, and I'm happy to share them with you guys today. Step 1: rewind and reflect, also known as what did I do. I want you guys to all replay your most recent workplace drama situation in your head like a movie. Ignore all of the emotions and just focus on you. But for now, let's just think about this hypothetical. Say you are not on a group project, you each have your own individual assignments, and then you all divide up the work. But then someone becomes unresponsive, not answering calls, they go ghost. Then you or someone else has a new pickup that additional slacks. So in a brief, small, very tiny lapse in judgment, you went to the nearby coworker. Then all of a sudden, you ghost come back, and then surprisingly know everything you just said. Now, what did I do in this situation? I went to someone who was not my confidant. Why would I do that? Sometimes we create this unspoken bond with people that only exist in our heads. They don't owe me their discretions. I just assume it was there, so we are not going to go down a rabbit hole try to figure out why they did that. It doesn't matter. Why do in this situation I went to someone who was not my confidant? Why do I someone who created unspoken bond with me just to make sure that handle whatever they about to throw at you? But you are not. What are you really doing in setting yourself up and creating this anxiety in your head that doesn't exist? Then we also have careful about areas. Here what I mean. Let's see, you are in the break room and you are talking the some with all of the sudden coworker comes in. Now they seems to just be in the deep thought, not cheerfully, but they are not rude. They come in, they walk out. Then the coworker over here begin to diagnose what they feel is wrong with that person. They are saying that things like, "Oof, they're just made. They didn't get the job," or they are saying, "Oh no, no, no! During this season, they are just always upset," and you are sitting here like, "Yeah, that must be it." You are listening to this as if this is fact. Meanwhile, this coworker can be in deep thoughts about literally anything. They could have just opened a pack of Starburst, go for yellow back to back, and they are just trying to figure out what happened. But you are over her listening, and you're listening to their made up scenario that now can impact how you choose to interact with that person throughout the day, whether we are creating fake stories in our head or listening to the other people's story. It's need to stop. The goal is this step stress over things that haven't happened. All right, step 3: vent and realize. It's good to have a vent buddy. This is your couch and your cheerleader, your therapist, whatever you need them to be in the moment. This is not like that person in step 1 that just happened to be in the shot. You have an established relationship with your vent buddy. Now here's another scenario. You're getting ready to tell a customer or a client something that they just don't want to hear. So as you are in the middle of this pile, comes another coworker and they interrupt you and then say the exact same thing you were saying. You can't make a sense in this front of customer, so you just have to sit back, and just listen as they do this, and you burn up inside. So what do? We go to our vent party, we talk about it, we get mad, and that's the time for that. Get mad, get angry, scream, do whatever you need to do to get it out. No, Now here is the hard part. You then have to switch that tone to positivity. I truly believe in positive and negative energy, and it has a way of controlling our moods throughout the day. You have got to think of things like, okay, where do I go from here? What can I do differently? And then if you are the antibody, if you are responsible to lend your friend back to the positivity. Now the other hard part, you have to then apply those learning to the situation. You can't carry that resentment around. If you do that, one off situation now become a pattern behavior is harder to ignore than a one off situation. The goal in this step is, let's turn our 20 session into a productive conversation. Step 4. Learn a new language, also known as we need to talk. Guys, I personally don't like to pick up the phone at work. I just don't feel I like whatever you need to say to me can be an instant message or an email. That's it's my work language. The only problem with that, you can't hear tone through an email. I read email the same way I speak, so I'm pretty sure I misinterpret some tones before unless I know you. So here's an example. I'm going to show you guys an email and I want you to read it, and then I'm going to read it out loud. All right, that's way fast through enough. You should have read it. Stacy, thank you for reaching out about my group. At this time we work not need any additional support. Going forward, if I feel we need help, I will ask you. Won't have to reach out. Per my last email attached below, I have outlined what I do and what you do, so we can avoid this in the future. So, as always, thank you for your partnerships, guys. That's how you read it, guys. There are certain words in that if you hear or if you see in the email, it's safe to assume that they are typed. I know it's now. I think I messed up some per people emails. They are connecting them with all of that. It said have to know when it is a time to pick up the phone. You have to know when it's time to have to face and face. And the face to face conversation are not easy. They are difficult, but they are not necessary. The goal is to try to understand the other people perspective. So you will start the conversation with things like, okay, you got upset when I, or you will say things like, okay, you already had the situation handled, and then I saw that the way you can say exactly where you are coming from. Also, don't try to make people like you. We all have an own upbringing, we all have an experience, and we all have their own communication style. As the new generation are entering the workforce, we are also adapting to it. Meeting are now emails are now text offsites, and now Skype. So as we adjusted to that, we need to at least try to understand what type of style of communication they use. The goal in this step is to really understand their work language and accept that fact that it may be different than yours. Step 5. Recognize and protect, also known as to take a walk. So that my last scenario from one of my teacher's friend, we are about to have a meeting with the parents, and prior to it you have a co-worker. You kind of discussed it, and the co-worker tells you it's all right, I got your back, I'm going to agree with your recommendation. So you kind of side-eyeing that because they have burned you before, but you have had that we need to talk. So you are like, we are in sync now, I am going to trust them. You got through the meeting, the parent disagree with you, and like clockwise the co-workers agrees with their parents in front of you, making you like ridiculous again. We can't make scenes in front of people, right? You so you have got to hold it in. And then after the meeting, and the same co-worker has all the audacity come up to right and say, crazy meeting right here, they are testing you now, it's a test. So that's the perfect time to just go off, right? This is repeat offenders. You walk away and then come back with it. But we are trying to avoid workplace drama, not take a cannonball leap into it. So we have to walk away. You lead that conversation by taking the first available exit. You are not doing this for them, you are doing this for you. You have to protect your energy. Don't try to figure out why they would do this and do more coming to this is conversation. It's what is it they did, what they did, and given the opportunity they are probably to do it again. But now know that you are not recognized that, so that way you can act accordingly. We typically try to set expectation on other people and then get disappointed when they don't follow through. We have to learn to accept people where they are and adjust ourselves to handle those situations. The goal in this step is to recognize when it's time to professionally walk away from someone. Guys, I realize that step may come off as saying take the high road, and people always say it, just take the high road, and then describe it as some elegant part of strategist field with rainbows and unicorn. It's not that. It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, it leaves this knot of resentment in the pit of your stomach. And as you traveling down this amazing high road, you will see billboards of things you should said and things you should did. You go over there and you should look at easy roads, and they are chilling, not worried about the things. But I have to admit, the more I travel down these roads, and I do get a little easier pretty situation, they don't bother me as much. One little nuggets here and there, and as I continue down this path, there seems to be more opportunity waiting for me. I have little like-minded people who want to connect with me, project that people wants me on, leaders reaching out because they heard about me through someone else. And the best part, the need to even look at the easy road is no longer there. As we are not going to change the way adults act in the workplace, we are not, and for the reason there will always be workplace drama. But if we stick to these steps and put it in the work that comes with it, we can learn to avoid it. Guys, thank you for being my vent buddies, and thank you so much for your time.